Okay, so listen, if I ever have to go to court, I'm not taking Ian with me. Trust me, I'm not. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for If Loving You Is Wrong. This is season 5, episode 5. If I need to go to court for any reason, it could be a traffic ticket. I ain't taking Ian. Child, Ian got in there and gave mouth almighty, and then he don't have no poker face. So, he pitiful. He is pitiful, and I can't believe that as good of a lawyer as they try to portray Larry to be, that Larry has Ian working with him. Listen, Lucian and Ian sat down with each other and got to talking, and he was talking about looking for the public defender, how he couldn't get his hands on him to talk to him because they really need him to not crack under the pressure of the church, or else it's going to mess the whole thing with Kelly up. But can't nobody find him. Now, he sat there and lied about him and Alex. This whole thing, Lucian just said, asked him just what's going on with you and Alex. He ain't lead into nothing real deep. Ian opened up like Pandora's box and told everything. Everything. Lucian was just sitting there like, and I'm listening to him and the way he's putting it out there, the way he spewed the information made himself look guilty when we all know that he's not guilty of doing anything, but he spewed the information in such a way that anybody who didn't know better would be looking at him like, honey, call the police. Call the police. You know what I mean? I was like, what type of idiot is he? He's ridiculous. Get him out of here. Absolutely ridiculous. And then later on, when he talked to Larry, and Larry was like, questioning, he's like, are you questioning my integrity, Larry? This, that, thing, and the other. And he just came across so guilty and defeated and just no poker face at all. He is absolutely ridiculous. I was like, Ian, you done got shook. And I believe that's, first of all, why are you drinking hard liquor in the beginning of the day? That ain't helping you. You're a loose personality. So you need to chill. You need to be on your shit at all times. At all times. He was ridiculous. I couldn't get with him. I was like, this whole episode made me look at Ian like, so I would walk to the corner store with you, honey. I wouldn't want you to have to tell no details about nothing that ever went on with you and I. Period. Period. Moving on. So we got Marcy and Brad. Now she needs to go to work. She needs to do some stuff. This was weird. Well, it ain't weird. It's a Tyler Perryism. Is all it is. But she goes into this whole thing about him having concerns about him staying with the baby. But it's not your baby. And it's that thing. Listen, let me tell you something. I wouldn't give a damn whose baby it is. If there's a person that I have an issue or some thoughts about them being with an infant, we're not going to be cool. Period. Like, for real. We're not going to be... If there's some feelings I have about you, about being around an infant, that I think that you would hurt an infant, I wouldn't be engaged to you. I wouldn't be engaging in anything with you. I would be staying away from you. Flat out. I wouldn't be sitting around questioning it and all that. No, I would not be engaged with you. Because for me to have that type of feelings about you, something's not right. I shouldn't be having those types of feelings about you. That I don't feel like you're trustworthy to stay with an infant. That was just ridiculous. But that I blame on the writing and Tyler Perry. Because are we forgetting? Because Marcy knows he actually saved that baby's life. Had it not been for Brad, that baby wouldn't even be in the scene. Remember that baby got thrown into the swamp? Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember that baby, when he was just a few weeks old, was thrown into a swamp, and Brad went into the swamp with the gators, swam out, and got that baby and saved that baby's life. So now all of a sudden, we're questioning whether or not he could be with this baby because you think he's so upset with the baby's mama that he would hurt the baby? Come on, Tyler. You must do better. You must do better because, again, that puts us into questions about the rest of the characters because, Marcy, what the hell is wrong with you? If you feel like this guy would actually hurt this baby, why in the hell are you engaged to him? Girl, get out my face. Get out my face. Tyler, do better. Do better. Moving on. Marcy go to leave the house. Of course, her and Randall run. You know, her and Randall run into each other at every moment like he's watching the house again. And he threatened her, told her, you know, you'll never walk down the aisle with him. And she's like, are you threatening me? I'm like, a mess. Then she goes and tells him, wouldn't it be funny if Brad and I end up raising the baby that you thought was yours? I said, girl, he is going to tear your ass up if you keep on. Like, she is really pushing it with Randall. She's going to trigger Randall, and Randall's going to tear Marcy's ass up, or she's going to have to end up tearing him up. Now, I'm here for it. Now, this is the one thing, Tyler, that all this back and forth with Marcy and Randall, they're triggering each other. That their fight, I'm here for, because they're going to really get down and dirty. I believe they are. I believe before we are done with this, because this is the last season, I believe there's going to be a knockdown drag out where it comes life or death between Marcy and Randall, and I'm here for it. Moving on. Alex went to see the doctor. Her nasty butt wants some damn birth control. The doctor done slid out the room and called Brad on the phone. And here we go again. Another Tyler Perryism. She's manic. Her personality is way, way off. Way off. And this, listen, I don't know about anybody else's doctor. I'm close enough with my doctor. If I go into the office and I start talking about, we can go personal. My doctor knows that I am celibate. That's just information that my doctor actually knows about. Okay? Because, shit, I'm damn near 50 years old. So we talk, you know, when me and my doctor talk about everything. Okay? So if I just come in one day and I'm just talking randomly about getting banged out and carrying on and needing, well, I wouldn't need birth control, but just if it was the whole height of my conversation was all this sexual talk, my doctor is going to have some questions. And I'm not going to just be walked, you know, out of the office, okay, he all right. And I'll be walked out of the office and everything be okay. That's not going to happen with my doctor. And that's why he's my doctor. Because he's in tune with what goes on with me. And me coming in that manic would tip something off in him. And a real doctor would handle that. So again, we're back to another Tyler Perryism. Where you have this married woman who has made a mistake. She's had a mistake, you know. We've had a pregnancy scare and one bout of infidelity, but now she's coming in talking about birth control and all of this kind of carried on. And you were concerned enough to call the husband about the birth control, yet you're not talking about her manic behavior, nor the fact that she's a drunk bitch. She was drunk off her behind. Completely drunk. She's up on the table, so that means that you had to do some type of checkup on her to even be able to give her birth control. And I know you could smell the liquor on her. And you could definitely see the drunkenness all of it. She's a drunk bitch. So I'm like, again, a Tyler Perryism. Come on, Tyler, you got to do better than this. It's just sloppy, and yes, it's television. Yes, it's drama, but it's just loose bullshit that don't even gel. Anyway, moving on. She leave out of there. She ends up running to some guys. They talking about some honky tonk bars. She like, going on down there. This, that. Just slutty. Slutty. Totally slutty. She goes down to that bar, and then it started getting real racial. I said, here we go. You know, Tyler's cringeworthy when it comes to certain topics. Race and LGBTQIA topics. The way Tyler approaches them is just cringeworthy. I don't even know a better word for it. It really is. I'm like, Tyler, you're going to make me tug and pull at you, but okay. What was this whole thing about? She's talking, oh yeah, I got this girlfriend that you'll like, Latin girl, Esperanza. This, that, and the other. Like, you throwing Esperanza out there like she's some whole tramp. And that's fine. That's fine that you got it, that she's a tramp. But what did her being Latin have to do with it? When you know you are down, well, I mean, come on, the whole set is basically you're at this honky tonk bar. So you're leading us to let us know that it's a whole racial setup. And it just was cringeworthy to me. And the thing is, it doesn't go with what you were actually saying about Alex. Because Alex doesn't like all that, remember? Alex had such an issue about being thrown into this world where you could only be with a redneck that when she went out, she went directly for black pain. When she went against her parents, she went and jumped and lap rode a black man because that was the furthest thing against her parents. So her connection, and when she's now freeing herself to do what she wants, now you want us to believe that she goes to a honky tonk bar? No. I can see her going to a black strip club across town, but not a honky tonk bar. Come on, Tyler. Come on. Ridiculous. But this whole thing, I didn't like the reference of the Latin girl and her being so slutty. And, you'll just love her. You know, like she's the forbidden fruit. I just didn't like that. I didn't like it. It could just be me. Y'all let me know in the comments, James, you're being too sensitive. But I don't think I am. I think it's, again, some of that cringeworthy bullcrap that Tyler does that as much as I love Mitch and the have and have-nots, the whole situation with the Malones, every time he brings it up, I be wanting to just get Tyler and just right upside his head. Anyway. She got on the phone while she was there. She called Randall. And she starts talking to Randall and starts talking about how his curve and his wing wong is not fun. And told him, I never loved you, you know. Now, again, I'm going to have to disagree. Girl, I don't understand. I probably need to just move on because... Girl, why you got a problem with the curve in his... Never mind. Anyway, I'm gone. I'm moving on from that. I'm getting down off of that soapbox because that's way too much information about for y'all. But I'm bam, and I'm back and I'm gone. Moving on. Girl, you stupid. Anyway, yeah. Alex ends up getting in touch with Esperanza. Esperanza goes, picks up Natalie's Nebby ass. They come down to the bar. Child, it's all going on. But wait, another little cringe word. When she said to Esperanza, girl, you know you love that vitamin D. I said, oh. So, Esperanza, you allowed her to basically call you a tramp. And then you came. You can't. I said, okay. Once they got down there, Natalie ignorant. Natalie told her, leave her here. Let's go. I said, thank you, Natalie. Leave her here. She's happy in there being a tramp rat and that bull and carrying on that dumbass dress on. Leave her ass up in here, honey. Let's go. Went right on about their business. They was listening to her. All that stuff she said about the kids and, oh, let them have them. And nobody ain't say. She needed to be 302 by this point. Like 5150. That one over there. Ridiculous. Anyway. So, Kelly has this whole conversation where she finally tells Lucia about her Bible being taken by Eddie. Lucian goes and snatches Eddie up, and Eddie's still running around naked. Eddie been naked for 4 episodes. It's like, whatever. Lucian goes and snatches them all up. He gets the Bible back, but ain't none of the pictures and stuff in there no more. None of the evidence is in there. Eddie ends up calling Larry on the phone and tells him, you get me $200,000 from that reverend, and I got info that you need. Whatever. I ain't even got no whole lot to say about that. I'm just going to say whatever. I'm going to move on. Last thing we see, Brad is sitting there, and in typical lazy Tyler fashion, typical lazy, and yes, I'm saying this, and yes, I mean to be offensive, Mr. Perry. Love you dearly. But in typical lazy Tyler Perry fashion, the baby stops breathing. So now we're going to have a Sid's death? Is that it? And I'm fine with it. Could have been worked in, but it was done very lazy. Because baby done been through a lot. This baby's been through a lot since it's been on the planet. If there was ever a baby that could actually pass away from SIDS, it's definitely this baby of Alex's. So that could have been no issue, but it definitely could have been written in to this script in a more skillful. And that's the only word I'm going to use there. It could have been written into the script in a more skillful way. But the baby's not breathing, and it was very corny. And so all of a sudden, Brad, war hero Brad, don't know CPR? Tyler, stop playing in my damn face here.